We got like 105 inches of rock coming up. Kick it! Hey, thank you for clicking on this video. We have a ton of stuff to choose from. Thank you. We're going to talk about my top 15 punk rock 7 inches. 7 inches, we call them 7 inches, not really 45s, because they could be recorded on 33.3 RPM or whatever it is to squeeze more songs on there. They're a perfect way to get into a band. Often sold for $3. You can get a few songs from the band, from the artist. It's an easy way to put out your first few songs to try to get yourself a fan base. And for the fan at the show, you're just spending a few bucks. A lot of times it was like, Taco Bell for $3, or do I support this band? And I'm so glad I supported the band. A lot of these 7 inches are awesome. It's like a little peek view into the band's music. And then you eagerly wait for these guys, to put out their full-length album. As a touring band, it's something that often sold along with t-shirts as an easy way to make a few bucks to get you from town to town. My first 7 inch was Shamrock Shakes, came out in '89, House of Jep. Now before that, of course, I had tons of 45 singles from everyone from like Billy Squire, Scandal, Flock of Seagulls, Culture Club, tons of 45s. But the punk rock 7 inch kind of came under my radar, kind of like an '89-ish. Like I said, I got Shamrock Shakes, a little punk band from Iowa. I think they went from Shamrock Shakes to being called Total Passover for a while. A little punk rock band. Now the rules for this is it had to be released in the 90s, has to be punk or indie, and has to be on an independent label. So no major label scum is going to ruin my top 15 list. And of course for me, the first time I was on a 7 inch, first time I was on vinyl, when I was drumming for the Boll Weevils, and this came out in '92, and it was just like amazing. Get a little artwork and stuff. You get to see yourself, or listen to yourself rather, on vinyl for the first time. Growing up listening to vinyl and finally hearing yourself on vinyl, big thrill. So this is my first appearance. Of course, the band I was more associated with, and then for a much longer time, Oblivion. We did this split. A lot of bands that split 7 inches. It's a good way to get exposure to each band. Of course, we ripped off the Beatles there with this cover there, but I was happy with that. So let's go. Top 15. Number 15 on my list. In this order, I switched around a million times, and I may switch around again, but for right now, this is the top 15. And really, all these 7 inches you can get on Discogs or eBay. Seek them out, find them. They're awesome. I'm sure somebody's uploaded, all these to YouTube. You can listen to them first, but I would highly suggest all my top 15 lists for you to purchase. Number 15, Mr. G.G. Allin and Anti-Scene. Came out in 1992. Of course, Gigi left this planet in '93. It's got great, catchy little tunes like Assassinate the President, and of course, reason why I bought it, Cock on the Loose. I don't know if it's about when he was a farmer and he lost a rooster, or I don't know. But it's Gigi at his best. It's a great 7 inch. Makes my number 15. In 1990, this thing came out. It was a 2-song 7 inch from Chicago's own Meat and Potatoes punk rock band, No Empathy. I believe only limited to 500 of these on gold vinyl. Whoa, and the main reason you want to get this and seek this out is the song Agrippa. Chuck Uchida, the guitar player, does an amazing guitar job on Agrippa. Great solos. You don't think of like punk rock as having like great guitar solos and that, but I'll tell you, it's amazing. So for me, number 14, No Empathy, Agrippa 7 inch. Number 13, are you going to say, wait a minute, that's major label scum on that? Now, not that time. They were, but this wasn't released on it. And I always liked Nirvana anyway. So we got Nirvana and Jesus Lizard. Came out in 1993 on Touch and Go Records. Jesus Lizard does Puss, which is one of their best songs. And Nirvana does Oh the Guilt. And, just black vinyl. But anyway, this out, you can seek this out. It's not that hard to find. Jesus Lizard and Nirvana on the same 7 inch. For sure. Buy that all day long. Number 13. Number 12 from Discords Records. Of course, they help out the Washington, D.C. area bands a lot way back in the day and now. This is, when did this come out? 1992. A lot of my picks are going to be from the early 90s as opposed to the late 90s. Still a long, long time ago for you kids watching this. Band called Jawbox. Unbelievable song. Tongues. It's the reason why I bought it. It has 1s and 0s on the flip side, but I really bought this for the song Tongues. It's a great song. I was lucky to see Jawbox has gotten together a few times in the last few years. I was lucky to see them play Tongues just like a year ago or so at Riot Fest, and it still sounded great. Produced by Ian Burgess. and Jawbox. Couldn't have any punk countdown without the boys in Fugazi. Got number 11, Fugazi, with 3 songs. For me, I saw this band live a few times. They always made it a great effort to play places that were all ages and only going to charge you $5 to see them. I appreciate that. Nowadays, we're learning about all the hoopla with Ticketmaster and all that. And Ticketmaster sucks. And the fees that they charge sucks. There's no doubt about it. And the way they try to word it, like, well, we're offering you a service and we're not the bad guys because the venue and the band's also said, no, Ticketmaster, you're all Satan and you're all evil. Back to my countdown. Now, Fugazi's 3 songs. Song number 1 is the main reason why I bought this 45. It's a great, or 7-inch, played at the 45 RPM. And it's a great one. It's Fugazi. I mean, it's that punk rock, chugga, feeling good about yourself, keeping it at a low price. Fugazi, number 11. Number 10, a band, a lot of you are like, huh, who are they? You lived in the Chicagoland area in the 90s. They were big. They were as big as Green Day and The Offspring and all the other bands to us locally, but they never seemed to break it that much out. I don't know why. It's a powerful train of a dual guitar attack, snotty vocals in your face, everything you want from punk rock. Abrasive but catchy. The band I'm talking about is Apocalypse Hoboken, number 10. This is DateRape Nation. Might be my favorite release of theirs. I don't know. There's so much of their stuff that I love. But this one contains their great songs of pop sensibilities. Girl, Great Escape, Microscopic, Personal Best, Teen Anger, Hopeless, and Drunk Helen. You seek this out. If you're watching this channel, you want some powerful rock, powerful punk rock, you get this, you'll be like, damn, that Brian guy, he was right, spot on. Number 10, Apocalypse Hoboken with DateRape Nation. And it's a dual 7-inch too. It's got 2 7-inches. So it's like a 14-inch if you put it together. I have not played this in a long time. So yeah, one's black and one's red. Ooh. Got 14 inches here. I could repeat the same thing I said about Hoboken for this number 9 band. They didn't tour really, so I think that's what kept them from being like a lot bigger than they should have been. Now a lot of people look back like, holy crap, I love that band. I want to own all their stuff. Well, I was lucky enough back in the day to be with them and be in the scene and hear them and be here when they were putting out these early 7-inches. Joey actually sent me this for free when I was in same community college with him, and he saw that I was reviewing some good bands for the community college paper and was like, hey, you should review this. I'm so glad he sent it to me, because I'll tell you, it is a perfect damn 7-inch. Number 9, the Vindictives. This is their first one. Oh, Basket Case, Get Lost, La La Land. You want catchy, probably the snottiest of snotty punk vocals you're ever going to hear with Joey. This one has Ben Weasel on guitar, I believe. It's right before is when like Screeching Weasel, early Screeching Weasel was taking a break, and then eventually he went back to Screeching Weasel, obviously, and is still there to this day singing for them. But this was good stuff, man. This band, pretty much if you listen to this, you're going to be able to understand their whole career was just that same driving you ahead, in your face punk rock stuff. But it's catchy though. All the stuff I like, punk, really. That's why I didn't get into a lot of the extreme like hardcore stuff. I like stuff to be catchy, so it's also catchy. Number 8, gotta have this band on your punk list too, or ain't no punk list for me. From San Francisco, JAWBREAKER, the Whack&Blite EP. I believe this is like the repress. It came out in '89 originally, but this is the repress from 1990. So that's why it's on the list, because it's not an 89 thing. For me, it's 90. And it's got Lon, Crane, I-5. I mean, Blake with the scratchy early vocals. He is probably one of the top lyricists, the guy who writes the words of all punk rock. The guy knows how to put words together. Some call them like the first emo, but shut up with that. You don't call this band emo, you call them rock and roll. JAWBREAKER. Number 7, I mentioned Ben before, but I'm going to bring him up with his band that he's known for, Screech and Weasel, the Pervo-Devo EP. Oh man, what a classic. It was hard for me to pick just one Screech and Weasel one to be in this list. This came out in 1992. This is probably the most expensive 7-inch on my list. You're going to pay about 60 bucks or around for this one. Rumored to be, these are like outtakes from when they were recording My Brain Hurts, which is probably my top 5 albums of all time. Screeching Weasel, My Brain Hurts. The song I Want to Be a Homosexual is so catchy. Whether you're straight or gay, you're going to love I Want to Be a Homosexual. I guarantee it. This band is catchy as hell. This is a great early 7-inches of theirs. So yeah, number 7, Pervo-Devo by Screeching Weasel. Number 6, another band that did go national for a while, and they were on some film soundtracks, and people kind of heard of them. Some people may unfortunately think of them as like a one-hit wonder for the time that they spent on the major labels. For us in Chicago, we were so proud of them. We loved the early years. We love that they're still continue on to this day. Who am I talking about? The one and only Smokin' Popes. Number 6 for me is their 7-inch number 2, which oddly enough, I think this is their third proper 7-inch. But it came out in '92, engineered by the late, great Phil Bonet. This was just good stuff. My dog, I tell you, I had a dog at one point around this time, and he liked to chew my VHS tapes. He was a husky mix. I swear it was like wolf and husky, because he was wild. And he chewed my inserts for High and Dry from Def Leppard. Chews, like I said, it's VHS tapes. He chewed this 7-inch cover. Can you see it? Oh, the pain! The pain! Chewed cover of this. Anything laying around, that dog. I named him Socks because he had little white feet. Black dog. Anyway, he R.I.P. Socks, but he chewed the hell out of this. But it's still number 6 on my list. 7-inches. It's got Writing a Letter, Stars, First Time, Under the Blanket. Now a lot of these songs, when they play them currently, they're going to slow them down a little bit, and so some are kind of slower speed. But hearing them in their purest raw early form on this 7-inch. These 4 Smokin' Pope songs. Good stuff. I'm going to keep all these 7-inches out after this little video and just play them all night long. Call in sick work tomorrow. I'm playing my 7-inches. Although HR be like, what? What do you do? What's going on in the house? We're breaking the top 5 here. Number 5, band from California that in a perfect world would have been just as big as my number 4 band and their 7-inch. But anyway, world is what it is. They're still going out to today, still going on to this very day. Face to Face. This is their debut 7-inch, No Authority. I believe this is like the 4th pressing, because when it's got the stamp for Dr. Strange Records. Dr. Strange Records. He's still around. He operates a store in Altaloma, California, I believe. It's right outside LA an hour. So if you go into like LA shopping in Hollywood, then you go a little bit to like Rhino Records, and it was at Claremont. Pay Doc a visit, man. Awesome guy, awesome store. Anyway, he ran a record label way back then, and Face to Face was on his label for a little bit, and they put this out. No Authority and Don't Turn Away, 2 original, amazing, catchy. It's about as catchy as you're going to get for punk rock songs, pop punk, whatever you want to call it. They also do a Blondie song one way or another. Kind of a throwaway. You don't really need that Blondie song, but it's an extra. It's like a little extra treat. But the 2 original songs, you want to get that for that, man. Amazing stuff. Number 5, Face to Face, No Authority. Number 4, I believe this is like the 3rd or 4th pressing of this one. It originally came out in '89, I believe. This is a little band you might have heard of when people say punk these days. It's one of the bands that people think of. Your kids do, or actually, I guess, no, the parents probably do now. These guys are old. These guys are like late 40s, early 50s now. Who'd have thunk it? Green Day, 1,000 Hours. 1,000 Hours, Dry Ice, Only of You, The One I Want, all the songs, 2.5, 3 minutes long, pop punk perfection. This is actually before they got Trey Cool on drums. This is with their earlier drummer before that. On Lookout Records, number 17. Like I said, I'd love to get the 1st pressing of this, but this is like the 3rd or 4th pressing of it. Man, you can't go pop punk without Green Day. Number 4, 1,000 Hours, Green Day. I don't think it's like extra. I don't think it has any color or anything like that. It's got my sticker. It's got my price tag from the great Wax Track store that used to be in Chicago. The old location this was. Because I bought it probably the year it came out. Look at $2.98. I don't know if that's showing or not. But way back when, the stores were even charging $3. I mean, that's good times. Alright, we're entering top 3. Ooh, what's going to be like Black Flag, Misfits, The Dead Kennedys. Nah, they all came out before this. This is 90s. This is just not. I would have been here forever. Took me forever to take my hundreds and hundreds. I had a crate full of them. At one point I had 2 crates, like this big, crates full of 7 inches. Now I just have 1 crate full of 7 inches. You know, traded or let people have some or got rid of, who knows, you know how collecting albums goes. But yeah, so I just had to narrow it down to independent releases from the 90s, stuff that I own. This is the list. Alright, we're entering the top 3. Whoa, I'm excited. You're excited. My dog is sleeping. Number 3 from What the Productions presents There's a Fungus Among Us, a Chicago band area, mostly comp. I bought this from Martin from Los Crudos. He was walking around the parking lot of McGregor's, which is an iconic little punk club we used to have here in Elmhurst, Illinois, right outside Chicago. Everyone played there, you know, Green Day, Offspring, all these bands played there before they got big. Had shows all the time. It was a great all-age place. I went there to see Screeching Weasel. He was walking around the parking lot, and he was selling these. So glad, so glad. This was like the first or second like punk 7-inch I got. Well, actually, this would be the first, and then there's 2 that I'm not sure which one I got before the other. But anyway, Fungus Among Us has Screeching Weasel, early version of their song Slogans. It has the Bhopal Stiffs, Bhopal. I don't know. I am an English major, actually. Anyway, it's got, let's see who it has. You forget with age. Let's see. The Bhopal Stiffs. The Bhopal Stiffs. God. Gear, Only the Strong, Screeching Weasel, a band called Target, a band called Vermicious Nids, and No Empathy, who was on the list earlier. All good early punk rock stuff. You know, these 7 inches would always come out this like info sheet where the print was so little. You're like, what? This band, I can't read that. Punk rock's not about reading, it's about music. So yeah, number 3, there's a Fungus Among Us. I believe they have green, purple, and red covers. Something tells me I think purple was the first batch they came out with, and green was limited, but red was also among, I don't know. Anyway, I got the red one. Number 2, speaking about the Bhopal Stiffs, oh my god, can I say that? The Bhopal Stiffs, Larry, their singer, formed into Pegboy with John, who left Naked Ray Gun at the time. They formed Pegboy. John Haggerty, guitar player for Pegboy, has the best, crunchiest guitar sound of all guitar sounds. You want to hear it? Okay, look up this song, Walk On By Pegboy. This is Field of Dreams they promote on this side. Oh yeah, I got that for $2.59 at a store in Champaign, Illinois. But yeah, Field of Darkness, which is on their also on their Strong Reaction album, and then Walk On By, which is not on their Strong Reaction album. So you gotta buy the 7-inch if you want Walk On By, which is one of the best songs you'll ever hear. Like gritty, just heavy punk rock, but not like hardcore. It's not bum, 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 bum. You know, it's mid-tempo, I guess. The guitar sound alone, for crying out loud. Just buy this. I'm telling you, I'm helping you people. That's what YouTube channels are supposed to be for. Exposing you to good stuff. I'm telling you what's good. Get the Pegboy 7-inch. It's out there. Or look it up on YouTube if you don't trust me. You want to listen to it first. Pegboy, number 2. Number 1, what could be it? What could be number 1? There's only one, number 1. Number 1. I bought it in 1990. It sells for around $50. So this and that Screeching Weasel will be about the only higher price 7 inches on my list. Because I want you to be able to afford the rock that I love. Band I'm going to go see. They reformed for a little bit. Who knows how long it's going to last. But here we are in 2023. And I'm telling you, in about 2 weeks, I'm going to go see this band live. Ho ho! Sludgeworth. This has Follow, Someday, which they later record for their debut, Angry Man, and 2 Feet on the Ground, which they later recorded for their debut. So 2 songs you're going to hear on this, and 2 songs you'll hear on this, and you'll also hear new versions on their first record, which was What's This, released about a year after this was. Man, the cover art is great. Everything, this is exactly what you want in a punk rock 7-inch. Look at this artwork with rats there, sewer. Oh, I'm hiding the name. Sludgeworth. The band from Chicago, pop punk band or punk band from Chicago. Look at young little Sludgeworths. Got the insert. You can see what the band was all about, how they looked. Oh yeah, those guys are cool. You got your little black vinyl. No special, just brown, white print on black vinyl. But the 4 songs, I guess you would say pop punk, but to me it's just catchy sing-along punk rock. It is good stuff. Oh, you got some inserts here telling you where you can write the band, all the bands they thank. That was a big punk rock thing. You just would say, hey, thanks. You'd play with the bands, but you put like the more known bands on top of it. Hey, we're friends with these guys. Hey. But, you know, that's a good punk rock thing to thank a lot of people. And, yeah, you know, pictures of them playing live and hanging out and doing all kinds of stuff. Crazy boys. And then, of course, Roadkill Records put it out. So they're telling you all the other stuff they have. Look at that. They're promoting, you know, at the time, Screeching Weasel, Bhopal Stiffs. God, that name. Anyway, number 1 of my 15 top 7 inches that you should get, that I love, that we'll all love together someday, when we all go to the big 7-inch in the sky. Sludgeworth. How do you say Bhopal Stiffs? Bhopal Stiffs.
Bhopal.
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 Bhopal. I think I said that like 40% of the times.
Bhopal.
Bhopal. Sitting in. I've been to India. I've been to India 4 times. I still know how to pronounce one of their cities. Bhopal. Bhopal Stiffs. Punk rock band.